Hello dear viewer, I welcome you to this lesson. We are going to be discussing the religious education part of our workbooks. Workbook on page 100 is where we get our heading, friendship. That is under the theme, friends on the way. Here we are going to begin defining friendship. What do we mean by friendship? We shall be defining friendship as a relationship between two or more people who have the same interest, who have the same likes, or who have the interest in each other. That's why we are saying friendship is a relationship between people who have interests in each other. A relationship. Friendship is a relationship between people with the same interests. Between the people with the same interests. So that is how we are going to define friendship. A relationship between people who have the same interest. We have the importance of friendship. Importance of friendship. Which means when we are friends with one another, how is this important? How is this good? Number one, we are saying it develops self-confidence. It develops self-confidence. Which means one becomes confident of his or her likes. Which means that one cannot be like left as if you are like maybe you are the only person who might be having that. So that kind of sorrow, we find that when we are together, of course we are able to get comfort. We are able to get that help from one another. So we become confident. It assures us of support. It helps or it assures support in the case of problems. It makes us secure. It makes us secure. For example, you will find that one does not feel lonely. You feel safe because you are with a friend. Even if someone was maybe planning to attack you, the friend is there to help you. So you'll find that friendship makes one safe. And then one gets help. It makes one get help. It makes us to get help from one another. It makes us to get help from one another. Then it creates a sense of belonging. It brings that sense of, at least you feel not lost. You feel you are in the right you are in the right place with the right people when you have friends. That's what you call developing a sense of belonging to that area, to that group. And then finally, when we are together as friends, we have joy. So it also brings joy to the people. We can make it our last answer. Friendship brings joy to people. Which people are we talking about? Those who are in that relationship. Those friends, for example, you with your fellow friend, could be at school, at home, or any other area. You will find there is joy when you meet that friend. Now, we look at also the ways Jesus showed that he had love for his people, that is for mankind. Of course, a relationship is all about you having love for one another. So when we look at the Bible also, we shall be looking at the life of Jesus as he was serving or showing love to his people, to mankind, to people in general. Number one, we are saying Jesus fed the hungry people. Jesus healed those who were sick. We have Jesus restoring the sight of those who were blind. We have Jesus helping the ones who are dead to come back to life. That is raising the dead. So we shall be looking at a lot of things here. He made the blind to see. He made the lame to walk. He made those who had died, like we have Lazarus, that Jesus raised into life. And then he also forgave sinners. And above all, Jesus died for people's sins, for the sins of mankind. So that is also another thing we need to realize, and that shows that Jesus really had love for people. He offered himself on the cross for the forgiveness of the sins of man. Therefore, we as the Christians today should also imitate the life of Jesus. We should copy the life of Jesus. And we are going to have a subheading which says ways how we imitate, ways how we, and that word is supposed to be imitate, and you will help me correct it. Ways how to imitate Jesus' qualities. How can we copy the qualities that Jesus had as Christians today? One is by being kind to people in the society. Number two is by being humble. You find Jesus was a very humble person. He was not violent, did not fight with anyone. So we should also learn or copy his lifestyle. Then the other one is forgiving one another. In most cases, you'll find that we children, when we are at school, when we are at home, anywhere, and maybe a friend offends you, a friend maybe does something bad to you, you end up also retaliating. You fight back, and at the end of it all, you can even get involved in a quarrel, in a fight, or in any other kind of activity which will be unpleasant. So what we are supposed to do is we have to copy that example that Jesus did to us, showing love, forgiving those who could wrong him. An example is when we have Jesus on the cross and he was seriously tortured, he was nailed, he was bleeding and all that suffering. He said, please Father, forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. So you can see such a lifestyle. So we also need to have that heart of forgiving those who wrong us. In fact, Jesus teaches us to love those who wrong us, not to fight back, but to forgive them, such that they will also change. Then we also have to love one another, and finally we have to pray to God. We looked at in primary 5, primary 4, we looked at the prayerful life of Jesus. We find that Jesus could pray. In most cases, he could pray. And we have circumstances where he could pray. For example, the Bible says that as he was going to be arrested, he went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. So we should also be having such a prayer. We should be praying. We should be prayerful to God in times of sorrow, in times of happiness. At any moment, we should be prayerful to God. So that is about being, copying the life of Jesus, to imitate the life of Jesus. Then we have page 101, which gives us the qualities of a good friend. What are the qualities of this person we call a friend? Qualities of a good friend. So qualities, when we are writing, we are beginning a statement saying a good friend should be, then we can now write the quality. I mean, we can now write that character that friend should portray. So we don't, we discourage you from just throwing the answer, respectful, kind, loving, trustworthy, but you bring out a sentence. As a semi-candidate, as a P6 child, you say, a good friend should be kind. A good friend should be loving. A good friend should be trustworthy. Trustworthy. A good friend should be respectful. Respectful. A good friend should be tolerant. A good friend should be forgiving. Also here, a good friend should be ready to listen to the advice from another person. So those are the things that make one a good friend. A good friend should be faithful, should be sincere, should be honest, should be should be respectful. We are done with it. Peaceful is there also on the board. We have not put peaceful. Peaceful. We have also talked of sincerity. A good friend should be sincere. So all these are the qualities that a good friend should portray, should produce, or should have. Good advice from a friend. Of course, we need to know that with friendship, people make friendship in two ways. You can end up landing into a bad friendship, that is, you having bad people you move with, or you will be having a good friendship. You are interacting, you are associating with good people. And when you associate with good people, of course, even the advice we get from them will be encouraging, will be good, will be educative. Unlike the other side where we have bad friends. In bad friends, you will find that even what they tell us, even the advice they tell us is very bad. It will end up making us land into problems. So the good advice we have from a good friend, one, to be patient. A good friend can encourage us. It's okay, my friend, just take time, just be patient, everything will be fine. That is a good friend. But a bad friend tells you, don't wait, just go and do this and that. It gives you a bad idea and you will get problems. Two, a friend gives you the advice of helping your parents, helping your elders. Gives you the advice of obeying your parents, doing voluntary work, and then we have doing work at school, working hard in class. That is a good friend. Tells you, Jason, you know what? Let us work hard such that we pass. We pass in our class. Let's aim at getting 90s. And what are we going to do? Let us begin reading our books. Let's be attentive. Let's be doing some research work. Let's be doing the assignments that the teachers give us. And we get D1s. We get D1s actually. We get 100s in these subjects. That is the advice from a good friend. A bad friend will tell you, as the lesson is ongoing, let us go to the toilet, to talk, to hide, whatever, let's go for a short call, and then you go and end up playing in the toilet. But the lesson is ongoing. By the time you come back to class, you'll find the teacher has finished to explain that good part, and you miss it. Tomorrow it comes in the paper, you fail. A bad friend tells you, let us go and we steal so and so's eats in the case. Those are bad friends. They give us such bad advice, and of course those bad advice will bring shame to us. You find when you are arrested, they are going to publish you. They are going to announce you before the assembly, before everyone in the assembly, so and so was caught doing this and that, and you will be punished. Remember, that will be serious shame. So that is about a bad friend giving you such bad advice. Advantages of having a good friend or having a good advice: it promotes peace and unity among people. Of course, when one is doing the right things, everyone likes you. There is no one who will begin hating and punishing you for what? promotes cooperation, there is personal development, and it saves you from landing into a danger, landing into a problem. Like I said, a friend advises you, let's be patient. Let's not do that. Let's be patient. And you'll find when you also take that path, you will be saved from you taking a different route that will make you get a problem. Bad advice. The dangerous one, it encourages revenge. It brings dishonesty, it brings fights, quarrels, it promotes evil practices. For example, you'll find people ending up killing others, people ending up going for rituals, witching others because they have that bad advice. And of course, it brings jealousy, hatred, destruction of property, the use of abusive language will be there, and then one ends up in misery and total suffering because of having a bad advice. You end up suffering. So that is on that page 101 and 102. Those are the pages we have that. How friends offer support in time of crisis. That is on our page 102. How do friends offer support in times of crisis? Crisis means when we are in need of something. How do friends help us? They give us comfort. Friends can give us food. These things I'm talking about are the ones that you have ever been doing at school, or someone has ever done them to you. When you were hungry, you didn't have pocket money that day, a friend helped you with some 500, you went to bought some ice cream, you bought some soda, like that. So that is about friendship. So a friend can help us in case or in times when we are stranded. That's what we are looking at here. And then they also provide financial support. I've already talked about this. Someone can give you some little money, you go and get what you want, then maybe you can pay it later on, or a friend can even say, it's okay, just leave it, you're my friend. Just leave it like that. Then we have also praying for us. A friend can pray for us. I mean for you, like you're sick, you can say, please my friends, pray for me. And when they intercede, when they pray for you, you'll find God helps you and become okay because of their prayers. So you'll find this works. It helps us out. We have friends giving us guidance and counseling. That is giving us some advice, some good advice that can build us up, that can make us get back in the right track. And then finally, they can show love to us, and of course, they give us hope and courage. Qualities of people, qualities people look for in a marriage, in marriage partners. Of course, now this one, when we are looking at marriage, we are talking about the union, that is the legal union. Let's have it as a subheading, marriage. Remember, we are looking at two people or people having the same interest. So you'll find that marriage is also a friendship. You'll find the husband and the wife coming together, and they have the same interest. So we are saying marriage is defined as the legal union from the word unity or unite. The legal union, I'm now writing what was on this side, of a man and a woman, and the two unite as husband and wife. Very simple definition. The legal union of a man and a woman as a husband and wife. That is what we call marriage. The word is legal, which means acceptable before the eyes of everyone. You will find that we have the types of marriage. under the types of marriage, we shall be looking at what we call religious marriage. Religious marriage. We shall have civil marriage. Civil marriage. And then we shall have what we call customary marriage. Customary. That we can call traditional marriage. Traditional or cultural. Now, for us to understand this, we are saying it's the legal union in the eyes of everyone. The religious marriage takes place in a religious place, for example, in a church, and you will find the reverend, the pastor, whoever that or whatever that religious person can be, unites the two in the eyes or in the presence of very many people, in the presence of the church, that is the congregation. Those Christians are there when the two are taking the vows, exchanging vows. I, so and so, accept to take so and so as my wife to be, and we shall be together, whether in problems, in diseases, in poverty. We shall not leave each other except death. The other one also talks the same, and the two exchange the rings. The man gives the ring to the woman gives the ring to the man, and the two unite as one in the presence of the church. I mean, the Christians. So that is what we are terming as legal. When it comes to civil marriage, we are having the marriage which is officiated by a leader in government. Mainly we have the chief administrative officer. So we'll find this one also is legalized in that the two become together in the presence of as the chief administrative officer is presiding over. We have the cultural marriage or the traditional marriage, customary marriage, that takes place in the localities. For example, you'll find it can be officiated by maybe a clan leader, and you will find, of course, there is also the signing of some documents to show that so and so has married so and so. So that is also in the presence of of those people in that clan or in that traditional area. So this is why we have to say it is the legal union of a man and a woman. Man and a woman as a husband and wife. We have made a mistake there. It's now corrected. So we are having qualities of a marriage partner. Of course, we have to look at these qualities in two. We have the other ones on the side of the man. Then we have the other ones on the side of the woman. Now, for the man, qualities of a male partner, we have a partner, the man should be of understanding, one should be honest, should be hardworking, should be respectful, meaning a man who will be respecting his wife. And then others consider the same religion. It depends, some of these qualities are upon an individual. It depends on one, because someone can say, I want a man who is of the same religion with me. Then someone can be like, it's okay, even if the religion is different, as long as the person is honest, hardworking, respectful, trustworthy, loving, kind, God-fearing, courageous, it's fine. We have on the side of the females, one should be God-fearing, so we shall have the same things cutting across. One should be healthy, one should be humble, one should be of the same religion, loving, beautiful, hardworking, and so on. So all these are the qualities that one can have. Remember, they vary depending on one's personal interests. Then the purposes of marriage, that is why people marry. One, we have to bear children, that is to have children, for companion, for sexual desires, to enjoy the comfort of being in the relationship, to have respect in the community. And we find that there are some communities, if a man has not yet married, they look at that one as someone who is, there is a level, when the men who are married are talking, there is a way, or like in a meeting, they are gathered together. You find the men who are married and the one who is not married, much as you are of the same age bracket, but you who is not having a wife yet, you are looked at as a young boy. You're not supposed to talk at their level. I mean, your views are not heard like the way theirs are. So some people marry such that they also achieve that pride, that respect in their clan or in their cultural area. And then we have also people marrying for protection. For example, you'll find that a wife feels protected when she's with the husband, because she knows even if any other person tries to attack her, at least the husband can help her in that area. Which means, as a husband, one has to be strong enough to protect his spouse. Or even the woman being stronger to protect the husband can also be the other way around. The types of marriages, we have already talked about them. We have civil marriages, religious marriages, and customary. An error here. We have customary marriage, that's the one we have called traditional marriage or cultural marriage. And I have already talked about all those. Lastly, in line with marriage, we are going to look at things that help to protect the marriage. Then we should also be looking at the things that can spoil a marriage relationship. Remember, marriage is a relationship that we are looking at. So things that can strengthen it, that keeps it together. One, we have being faithful, respecting one another. We find the husband respects his wife, even the wife respects the husband. So the two will be together. Being trustworthy, being loving, being honest, admitting one's personal problems, and one asks for forgiveness and the other one is forgiven, and the one who is to forgive is also forgiving. So people continue together. Then we have the other side. We shall have the things that can spoil the marriage relationship. Which things are these? We have things like witchcraft. Number one, witchcraft. You find some people run to witch doctors such that they keep their partners in love with them. So you'll find when one realizes such, you will find it will make someone uncomfortable, and the person can end up saying, no, I cannot continue with someone who likes witchcraft. Then we have some people, some partners becoming irresponsible. And irresponsibility, that is, one does no longer provide the basic needs, and the person is able but does not want, just irresponsible. And this is caused due to factors like alcoholism. You'll find someone becomes a drunkard, goes to drink, comes when he's drunk, does not have time for the family, does not provide for the children, and so on. You'll find people end up breaking. And then drug addiction, taking drugs of, you have these drugs of addiction, the cocaine, this we call marijuana, and so on. So you'll find also those can make some relationships to break. And then we also have unfaithfulness, that is reaching the level of one committing adultery. You'll find if a partner commits adultery, if like one is adulterous, you will find that the other will just end up surrendering. And then we have arrogance of some partners. One takes himself or herself to be high above the other. Remember, we said there should be equalness here. The two have respect for one another. But when one is special or she's special, then you will find that the other will be demotivated. The person will now feel like she or he is just suffering in the relationship, and one might end up thinking of terminating this relationship. And this becomes a way or one of the causes that break relationships. So that is what we are having, and then we are now moving to we are done with page 102, which was and 103, which have been about relationship, and it has taken us to understand even up to marriage. So we also have other relationships outside there, like for us as children, you have always our friends at school, at home. So you'll find there are those things that always spoil a relationship. When you are with your friend, refusing to forgive can spoil a relationship. You will find that if a friend asks for forgiveness, you don't forgive, and the relationship is destroyed. So it will call for what we call reconciliation. That is bringing back the lost relationship such that you will again be together. I think when we meet next time, we shall be looking at the Christians' involvement in the world. That is for another day, and it will mark the end of our discussion for term 3. But for now, we first of all want to end there on that page 103. And I must thank you so much for your audience, and I hope to see you again in that lesson. Thank you. Have a nice time.